So without a sell-off, which is a very prominent pressure point, is a deal less likely? Joining us now is North Dakota Republican Senator John Hoeven. Senator, good to have you on the program. Thanks for joining us.
You bet, Maria.
So the market was falling, selling off ahead of the fiscal cliff, and the GOP caved. This time we're at near all-time highs. Is this giving your side of the aisle more resolve?
Look, Maria, we're talking about 2.5% in cuts. That's something we can do. We're willing to give the president the flexibility to do it in the most thoughtful way. And I think what you're seeing in the market is that we're doing what we should be doing, finding necessary reductions rather than raising taxes. And you may be seeing that reflected in the markets today.
Well, I guess my question is, do you look at the markets? Do you think that this is, telling a story? Does this help you that the market's up 175?
I think it does, because we're doing one of the things we have to do, which is to get control of our spending. Then at the same time, we have to not raise taxes, but rather get pro-growth tax reform that lowers rates, broaden the base, and then have entitlement reform where we preserve and protect those programs for the long term. Those are the keys to not only getting on top of the debt and deficit, but get our economy growing. And I hope the market's anticipating that we're starting to get to those things and get them done.
Well, let me ask you this. You guys have had, never mind, months, but even this week, you could have met this week, right? Knowing that the cuts are coming Friday. What's with these 11th hour meetings? The president has called now another 11th hour meeting of the congressional leadership on Friday. So are you going to go meet? What time are you meeting on Friday?
I don't know what time the meeting is, but it is Friday, and that's a great question for the president. We're here, we're ready. We'll give him the flexibility right now to make these reductions in the most thoughtful way to minimize the impacts. Let's go, let's do it.
But seriously, what are you expecting to accomplish meeting on the day that the cuts take effect? It almost feels like you guys think we're stupid. The cuts are taking effect on Friday, and you're meeting on Friday.
Maria,
how sensible is that?
I agree, Maria. We should be doing it right now, and you know what? These cuts start to take effect, but remember, this goes throughout the balance of the fiscal year. So I agree with you. Let's get it done.
All right, let me ask you this. What are you willing to give on to actually get a compromise going? The president has talked about more revenue. Are you going to do a deal that includes revenue to avoid these cuts on Friday?
We're not going to agree to higher taxes. Revenue comes from economic growth, not higher taxes. The president and the Democrats raised taxes earlier. Now we need to make necessary reductions, and real revenue, the way we're going to get revenue is from economic growth. Higher taxes would hurt that economic growth. So no, this is about making necessary savings and reductions in the best possible way, and we'll give the administration the flexibility to do it.
Okay, and real quick, final question here. As we live from cliff to cliff, can you give us a sense of the timeline? You've got the sequester cuts beginning on Friday, March 1st. Then you've got the continuing resolution. What do you expect to get from that? And then you've got the debt ceiling debate coming up in May, right?
Correct. I expect that we'll have votes in the Senate this week to provide the president with flexibility. If that doesn't pass, I think next week you're going to see the House do the same thing and attach it to the continuing resolution, which would fund government for the balance of the year. So you both address the issue of keeping the government going and providing flexibility to do the reductions in the most thoughtful way. We're ready to go. We're here right now. The president just needs to work with us to do it.
All right, we will leave it there. Thanks so much, sir. Good to have you on the program.
Thank you.
We'll be watching the development.